Hello, everyone. My name is Jill M. Jackson. I am a psychic channel, a medium, a spiritual teacher, and an author. And this is my December 2025 predictions and energy update. I am recording this December energy and predictions early because I'm going to be out of town and traveling. However, I was just guided to do it today. Spirit just talked about the importance of recording it today. So I'm listening and I'm recording it very early from what I normally do. For those of you new to my channel, please hit the subscribe button below. Thank you so much to everyone who has been supporting my channel and following me. I did hit the 555 subscribers, which connects to my beautiful mom in spirit, who was also a medium. So thank you for that. Thank you for the love. Thank you for comments. And I am considering for 2026 actually doing these live and opening up the chat for you to ask questions while I am live. So if that is something that you would be interested in, comment below and I will continue meditating on that as well. And I'm gonna save the updates on the orange criminal until the very end. So there's some good information. So be sure to stay until the end for that. And for those of you who are still supporting this person, I'm not the channel for you. I'm very outspoken. I am able to read energy and I speak authentic truth. So this has nothing to do with my political affiliation. And by the way, any liberals who are in the files, lock them up too, please. Go ahead and file charges. All right, let's just get that out of the way. The first thing that I do want to talk about is the instability of the economy. And honestly, it doesn't take a psychic to be able to read what's going on with the economy right now. However, some information that my guides did give me that's very specific for people to really look into, and that is stocks, crypto, and real estate. Now, I do feel like crypto is about to take a huge hit, and especially Bitcoin. Now, I'm not a financial advisor. Use your own intuition, your own discernment. I'm just letting you know what I'm feeling and sensing that's coming. So, if you are invested in crypto, then you may want to decide what you want to do. I feel that Bitcoin is going to be tanked, and I just don't have a great feeling about it. Some of the other ones are going to hold on, but it's being heavily manipulated right now. So that's the first thing that I wanted to talk about. The other thing that I wanted to talk about that Spirit was showing me is real estate prices. I feel like they are going to take a huge dip in February, March, April timeframe. If you are wanting to sell your house or thinking of selling, you may want to do so before then. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. Tune in for yourself and see how this feels. I just got a really strong feeling that the real estate market's going to take a huge hit coming up. It's very unstable energy. And then with the economy, Spirit shows me just this swivel and like the head on a swivel and back and forth, back and forth. And I feel like so much is being manipulated, so much is being crashed on purpose, and it just sickens me. But I feel that now is a time to really, and especially with the month of December and coming to the close of this year, it's really a time for us to sit down and ask ourselves, are we living where we feel like we want to be for the next few years? Because this cycle, even though this administration is on the outs, and I'll talk about that at the end, it will take a while and everything will still need to crumble. So I'm feeling a health crisis coming as far as insurance goes. We are seeing proof of this. It's just not able to be stable in what they're doing. So I feel like we're in a moment right now, and the solstice actually shows us this, that there is so much polarity. And through this chaos, we do have an opportunity to see the light aspect of the polarity from the shadow. So, with the health insurance crisis and people losing their health insurance, what I do feel is a positive that will eventually come from this is that more and more people are going to be looking at alternative healthcare options. When people can no longer afford their premiums for health insurance, they are just going to go without it and they're going to start looking at alternatives. So that's going to take a while for that momentum to come about. But I do see that happening, and that is a positive. In my humble opinion, alternative and holistic healthcare is 90% of the time the way to go. I understand that sometimes people need medication and surgery, and I get that. And that's challenging about what people are going through right now, and especially when Congress continues getting their health insurance. It's just we're in the midst of everything crumbling, and it's very uncomfortable. We're in that final push of the birth canal, and it's extremely uncomfortable right now. So if you are heavily invested in the stock market, you may want to look at whether you are in gold and silver. That feels really stable. There's some industries in the stock market that are going to continue flourishing. I honestly, I would be careful with AI stocks because I feel that that is being heavily manipulated. I know that people have gotten some good growth, but I feel like there's a lot of manipulation going on there. So I would be careful with those stocks as well. Now, Spirit showed me the crown, and this has something to do with changes coming for England. And I feel like this has to do with who will be king. I'm not sure on the timing. This may not show in December, but I feel like that is coming up, and it feels like the energy and the momentum has already started in that direction where there's some kind of change there. I was also shown a potential for a very large earthquake in Japan in the high sixes or sevens. Help me shift that energy. Please help me send prayers that this does not happen. I love it when I'm not accurate on natural disasters. So help me shift that energy. And okay, I want to talk now about something I've been talking about for over a year now, and that is that the truth will be revealed. The truth regarding Trump and Epstein will be revealed. I have been saying it for a year. I've been saying it for longer than that, going back to 2015, actually. And I've been pretty vocal and pretty public about it. And sadly, lost friends and family members and colleagues over being as outspoken as I have been. However, and some people say that it's not spiritual talking about these things. Well, it's spiritual bypassing when we do not speak our authentic truth, especially when we know the truth. And not only do I read energy, I know people who have witnessed these things. So please don't come in my comments and tell me that I'm just a crazy liberal. My prediction is, and I'm honestly surprised that he is still in office, but his days are numbered, and the proof, it's already come out. So the proof will continue coming out, but I'm seeing a shift in his bootlickers continuing to lick his boots and kiss the ring. I'm seeing a turn of events there. And honestly, anyone that knew the truth and continued kissing the ring needs to go as well, because that is just so dishonest and so filled with deception. But my prediction is that through the month of December, we will see a complete unraveling of his presidency. Now, this is the part that I have been shown two timelines. And as a psychic, I do my best to look at the most probable timeline of events. However, when energy of those behind the scenes is still being discussed on how this is going to play out, this is where Spirit has shown me the two timelines. So I'm going to talk about the two timelines here. Well, first of all, his health is not good. We've known that for a while. That continues to decline. However, the two timelines that I've been shown are that there is a FAKE. I don't know what word they're using when unalived. Okay. On him to get him out that way. That's being discussed. I could hear the conversations, because then that way his Stark MAGA supporters still can idolize him. So that timeline is being discussed. The other is I need to be really okay. I feel that another timeline that is being discussed is him pretending this happened and fleeing the country to someplace that has already offered protection from going to prison, because there's enough evidence that he needs to be behind bars. So I feel the good news is we will not be saying President DJT much into 2026. It's just coming to a screeching halt. All right. And I know I've been saying this for a while, that I don't see his presidency going into 2026. Timing is so challenging, because when we're shown these timelines, the other world, their time is not the same as ours. So I'm doing my best to read the energy of what I'm being shown and the patterns and how those behind the scenes, because the way reality happens is there's a thought first in an individual, and then that thought creates a pattern of movement that anchors in to reality. So when you have multiple individuals creating thought forms on how they're going to best spin this scenario, then that's where these different timelines are being manipulated right now, and they have not anchored in on which way they're planning on going. Now, in the past, I was briefly shown JD, Couch Boy, being sworn in quickly. That does not last long. 2026 brings new leadership, and I'll be doing the 2026, not only predictions, but I'm going to be doing a trance channeling about 2026 as well at the end of December. So there's changes coming in our leadership, but I still feel a lot of instability around the economy. All right. I want to shift now to talk about the energy of the month. I prefer this part of the updates, the energy, because it's more positive. And I want to talk about the solstice, the 1221. 1221 in sacred geometry and numerology is a 1221. It's a mirror. And that's what we're experiencing right now. It's an opportunity for us individually to continue with our shadow work, look in the mirror and ask ourselves, how how can we continue with our own shadow? How can we continue integrating our own shadow and healing? And so that's going to play out in the collective as well, where the mirror of it is more truths are going to be illuminated through the mirror. So more and more shocking revelations are coming that are going to just blow some people away just out of shock value. There's a lot of shock coming. Don't pay attention to the distractions, because I also see a potential. Well, let me back up. I was shown a few days ago a potential that the orange one waged war against Venezuela to distract from his name being in the pedophile files. What, more than anybody? There, his name's there more than anybody else's name. So he wanted to distract from that. But honestly, I feel like things are moving so quickly that he may not have time to pull that off. And I also feel more and more military people, higher up military, are remembering their oath. And yes, I'm just going to stop it at that. Okay, so the solstice is a really, really important portal. It's a time for us to rest and reflect and set our intentions. I'm going to put the link below. I hosted a Solstice Gateway Summit, Insights and Inspiration for 2026, with myself and 13 amazing expert speakers. That the link below, it's free. So be sure to check that out as well. We're offering our insights and our predictions for 2026, and also some wonderful tips on how to celebrate the solstice. So that's wonderful. And each speaker also is giving away a free gift. There's also an event coming up on December 10th that's free. It's a Zoom event, and it's called Pathway to Spiritual Mastery. I'm going to put that link below. That is a free 90-minute event where my husband and twin flame and I are going to be talking about the 3 master classes that we have starting in January. So be sure to join us for that event as well. And I want to give the 3 words that Spirit gave for December, and that is completion, renewal, and illumination. So completion is a time of really reflecting on the past year and releasing what no longer serves us. And renewal is a time for rest and rebirth. And then illumination is shining a light on the truth and reminding us that above all else, to step into the energy of the 5th dimension, we must speak authentic truth. It's a non-negotiable for 5th dimensional energy. So I invite you to reflect on those words. And I always end with a tarot reading. So let me just see. Spirit has for us through the tarot as a final message for the energy of December 2025. We have, okay, so the first card is the Hierophant. And this I'm feeling that this has multiple meanings. I feel it does have something to do with the crown that Spirit showed me with England, but this also helps us understand spiritual mastery. It helps us understanding finding mentors and using our innate quest for soul evolution. And this goes back to the classes because so many people say, well, I'm not psychic. I don't need to take classes. The purpose of human incarnation is evolution of the soul. Evolution of the soul comes through expanding our consciousness. The way we expand our consciousness is awaken our intuition. So it's all connected to ascending spirituality, intuition, and it serves us in every aspect of our lives. So I feel that this is the message, whether it's my classes or other classes that you resonate with, find spiritual teachers, find mentors to help you navigate and peel those onion layers back. Okay. And then we get the Lover's card, and that again goes to the duality. It goes to the mirror, the 1221. It goes to choices coming in. I feel that this also shows the energy of those behind the scenes still trying to make choices and decisions on how they're going to best spin this scenario. And for individually, December is going to bring a lot of moments for us to ask ourselves who in our lives is no longer supporting our journey. Are we in the right jobs? Are we in the highest and best friendships? Are we in the highest and best careers? Are we in the highest and best living scenarios? So this month is an opportunity for a lot of reflection and a lot of decisions. And then the final card is the Seven of Pentacles. And what this shows us is that through the crumbling and through the dismantling, as long as we find our joy and as long as we step onto the path of offering ourselves in whatever way that brings us joy and illuminates the highest version of ourselves, abundance will come. Abundance will look different at times, but abundance is coming. So please don't lose hope and know that Spirit always, always, always has our back. I'm sending so much love, many blessings, and namaste.